Hi, everyone. Uh, Welcome to the EAL session. We're really excited to have you join us. I'd just like to discuss some of these points on the slide here. The meeting is going to be recorded, so if you don't wish your face to be recorded, just feel free to turn off the video of your Zoom meeting. And because this is our first time we're actually doing Experience VCC online, just please excuse us in advance if we have some technical glitches or we fumble around. So please be patient with us. My name is Mike. I'm the moderator for this session. And one more thing I'll mention is if you need a sign language interpreter, just let us know. And we do have a sign language interpreter available on standby. Just let me know in the chat. I also made a call out in the group chat as well. Okay, before we begin, I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are on the traditional and unceded territory of the Coast Salish peoples, the traditional territories of Squamish, Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh First Nations. So this session is an opportunity for you to learn more about the English as an Additional Language program. We have a program representative with us who will talk about the program for about 2 to 3 minutes. We also have an advisor. So if you have any general questions, then this is an opportunity to ask away. We'll then follow up that portion with a question and answer period. But if you do have any questions during, then feel free just to add them to the chat. Okay. Can I ask the program representative and the advisor to quickly introduce yourself? So if you could just tell us your name and your role with the college. So Ken, do you want to start or
Sure, okay. Hi everyone. My name is Ken McMorris. I'm department head of the EAL department. That's English as an Additional Language. Nice to see you.
Perfect. Okay, Domingo?
Hi, my name is Domingo Salviejo, and I'm one of the 6 academic advisors at Vancouver Community College. We have 3 campuses, obviously, Broadway, downtown, and at Annacis Island. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. We're really excited to have you all with us. As I mentioned, if you have any questions, then feel free to type it in chat. If you prefer to verbalize it, just let me know and I'll unmute you. I'm going to turn it over to Ken, our program representative, who will tell us a little bit about their program. So over to you, Ken.
Hi, thanks. Exciting. So hi, everyone. This is my first time as a virtual Experience VCC Day 2. So I just have a couple minutes. So to tell you about our program, we teach English as an Additional Language, which is just same as ESL. Our main program is called ESL Pathways. So that goes from level 5 to level 9. And at level 9, we have a special course if anyone wants to go on to University Transfer English. And level 8 is accepted by most programs at VCC, also at BCIT and Kwantlen and Langara and Douglas as an alternative to English 12. So after level 8, many of our students go on to other programs. And just considering that it's an intensive program, just so you know, there's lots of homework. We don't have midterm exams or final exams, but we have assessments every week. So that's one thing our students say, there's so many assessments. Yes, there's lots of assessments, but they're not big assessments, they're smaller, and they give you and the teacher a good picture of your skills. That's our main program. But we also have special grammar classes and pronunciation classes to support students who want to focus. We have those in the summer also. So if you're thinking of summer classes, those are open. We also have in Communication for Engineering, we have IELTS Prep, which is a tuition course, CELBAN Prep, which is tuition, and it's for people who are registered nurses in their country, want to become registered nurses here. And we also have work with culinary and baking and healthcare assistant departments for students who want to do like a combination English and their regular programs. So how is that for keeping my time short? I'm
That's
usually never
perfect.
that fast.
That's perfect. I'll just move along here. If you are interested in learning more about the program, we just encourage you to follow the ESL Twitter handle at VCC ESL. We do have now a Q&A portion. So if you do have any questions, and feel free to ask away. Any questions?
I actually recognize some names in emails that I've been receiving. So now you know who has been replying to you or been bothering you.
Any questions? No? Ken, is there anything else more you'd like to share with the group?
Gosh, well, maybe I'll just say, you know, I did say Pathways was intensive. It's fast-paced. There's lots of homework. But in addition to that, our students generally have good experiences. They talk about stress. That's just being honest. But we focus on life in Canada. Our tasks that our students do are connected to working in Canada or studying, or issues that people in Canada, living in Canada, would face on a regular basis. So we really try to be practical too, and responsive.
Okay, maybe can you tell us what can a student expect to do on a daily basis to be successful?
Well, it sounds obvious, but definitely expect to attend class and attend the full term. People like, you know, life happens and people like to go on vacation, not these days, but in regular life. So we just have to say, you know, you're adults, and sometimes, yeah, of course, you need to make your own decisions. But we have so much information in only 3 months that we just have to get through. So plan to attend the full term. Be prepared for each course to do an hour homework every day. The homework is, you know, it's integrated into the course. It really does help students develop their skills quickly, because that's what we are. We're quite a bit about speed. And I'm not catching all the questions. All of our classes will be online for the rest of the year, just so you know. So at least until the end of November, and possibly in the January to March term in 2021. We don't have a decision yet. Fast-paced homework. Talk to your teacher if anything comes up. Our teachers are very proactive.
Okay, we have another question here. I see some courses at VCC require English 12 with B+ or equivalent. As for Pathways 8, how much do I need to achieve?
So Pathways 8, if someone passes Pathways 8, they meet that requirement. That's English 12 with a B+. In Pathways, though, we don't give A, B, C, D, E, or F. We just give pass, successful, or not successful. And there's no problem if someone is not successful. They can just take the course again. Sometimes we need extra time.
Okay, another question from Mauro. Hi there, I'm a full-time worker and I would like to take evening classes if you have evening classes.
Yes, and we do have evening classes. Again, they're online. And again, just keep in mind there is homework. So you need to be ready with your own living situation. If you're working full-time and you have children and you're doing other things, you might not have an hour a day to do homework. So you need to plan that yourself. Just be prepared.
Another question. I took English assessment test for LPN requirement. Unfortunately, I didn't get the passing score. Can I retake it?
So I'm actually not part of the English assessment for LPN.
Can I answer that
Yes,
question, though?
please.
Hi. Thank you for answering asking that question, Arlene. I'm not using my glasses. So anyways, so I just want to know, what kind of English assessment did you take? I'm assuming it's IELTS, because what we require in the LPN is IELTS academic, which is 7.0. I don't know if you took the assessment towards ESL pathways, so I'm assuming as well maybe ELA or CLBPT.
Okay.
So just so you know, when you take assessments, English assessments, be it ELA or CLBPT, if you don't get the right score, that doesn't mean you failed. No, it's not. It's just, we just want to ascertain your level. Okay. So for example, if you take the Canadian language benchmark placement test, and say for example you got 6 across, speaking, listening, reading, and writing, that would mean you're going to start ESL pathways level 7, listening and speaking, and then reading and writing level 7 as well. So again, it's not failing it. It's just, we just want to know your level. So if you complete pathways 8, that would give you the equivalent of English 12 with a B. But again, you're still going to be required to take the IELTS academic with 7.0.
Okay, great.
Answer that question.
Yeah, Arlene, if you have any further questions, then do please feel free to chat with us.
Yeah. And also, if you have questions, more specific questions about, English language proficiency and all that, I suggest that you book an appointment to speak to one of the academic advisors, and you can call 604-871-7000, press 2. I'm gonna put that in the chat as well, so you guys you have the record. Okay.
Okay, perfect. We had another question about how to apply, and Ken replied in the chat. So when you apply to VCC, you can choose our program, give evidence of your level, and then register for courses. You can email the department at eal@vcc.ca to help you with the process. Okay, another question here. I'm a student of level 5 LS class and RW class. I don't know if we have any level 6 LS or RW class on 3 to 6 p.m. next term.
Right, so I just had to open up my full schedule to answer that. We are offering 6 reading and writing at the 3:30 to 6 in September. And because you're in Pathways now, your teacher will show you the schedule and pre-register you. So you'll just have to tell your teacher what you want, and then we'll take care of it.
Okay, perfect. Domingo just added a note here. If you would like to book an appointment with an academic advisor, you can call them at 604-871-7000, extension 2, or press 2. You can also go to our website at vcc.ca/advising. Any other questions? Okay, and Nara has a question here. Also, my sister would like to take some English courses just to get bakery design.
Well, we have ESL baking, but maybe Domingo, you would have people to.
So some of our programs are, require Canadian language benchmark placement tests for ESL prospective students. So you can take the CLBPT with us or elsewhere, And then and basically from some programs, they do accept the Canadian language benchmark. So, or if you take Link courses in the past and you have a report card, you can also use that to get you into the program that requires CLB.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
Another question from Andrea. For me, I am able to read and speak English well, but I'm not very good in writing and grammar. In what level should I start?
Okay. Okay. So actually, I was just typing my response. Let me just send that. Sorry.
Oh, no worries.
So definitely, we do need evidence. We want to make sure students are successful. So we want to make sure you're in the right level, in the right course. So the best thing to do is to have an assessment. If you have nothing, of course, you can contact the assessment center. They will give you instructions for Duolingo. And of course, Domingo can explain that more,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yes. So currently, the assessment center is closed because of COVID-19. But there is a way. There's another way to take the English language assessment, and this is Duolingo. You can take that online. So what I want you to do, guys, if you're interested in taking the Duolingo test, I want you to book an appointment to speak to the academic advisor, because we can provide you with the link. And there's also a link, just so you know, in the assessment, on the assessment website. But again, I strongly suggest that you speak to an academic advisor prior to even, registering to take the English test via Duolingo. And
I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The Duolingo is similar to IELTS. You're going to be tested in speaking, listening, reading, and writing. And I know that when you get your result, actually, there's a photo of you. So because I think how it's being invigilated is you're doing it in front of the camera as well. You know what I mean? So that's it.
Okay, great. Another question. I have done ELSK 0647 last fall. How can I continue? Can I continue online or in person at the college?
So yeah, we have lots of codes for our courses. So that's either our pronunciation, that's our pronunciation course. It depends on what else you've taken. Sometimes we give students permission to take pronunciation or grammar, because those are kind of extra courses. But to take a pathways course, we need a recent and reliable assessment. So I can't answer you specifically. You might contact the advising about getting the assessment. Yeah. But if you have an assessment that I don't know about just looking here, then you can contact me and I'll look and answer you individually just by email.
Yeah. There's another question here and I would like to answer. From Naro to everyone, she got level 3 language benchmarks in Welcome Center. Is she able to take English course while she attends the bakery program, please? While the requirements for English for that program is level 5. Unfortunately, if you want to go into, there's no way you can take ESL pathways with level 3 in the CLB. You have to have at least 4 to get into 5. Correct, Ken? Yeah. So
that's correct.
Yeah. So in other words, no. And unfortunately, if you want to go into a program that requires, for example, CLB 5 and you have CLB 3 across, then unfortunately you can't. So the other option is to retake the test. But I believe if you want to take it through Vancouver, through us, you have to wait for about 4 months before you can take the the CLBPT, but if you go and do it through, for example, ISS or Mosaic on Commercial Drive, I believe you have to wait for a year before you can take the test again. Because just so you know, the CLBPT through ISS, BC, or Mosaic is actually free. And if you take it from us, Vancouver Community College, it's going to cost you $80.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Another question here. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Ken.
Oh, I was just going to say, if you finished level 3, you can't take our Pathways courses, but we do have beginner grammar and beginner pronunciation. So that's something you can work on to develop your skills and then try to take that assessment again.
Right. And there's also the option, there's also the option to use your link, your CLBPT3 to get you to link classes. Link classes are actually free. So you may want to use that opportunity to go into link class, either at VCC or outside of VCC.
Okay, great. Another question. I want to take September classes. Right now I'm in Ontario and I didn't have any level test yet until I take level test instead of Duolingo.
You can definitely take the Duolingo test, and then once you get the result, you can email it to Ken.
Yes.
Okay. Great. Another question. I finished Pathway 8 and plan to take Pathway 9, but not right now. Is my transcript, will it still be valid if I return to VCC later?
And yes, Pathways results don't expire.
There's no expiration.
Right, but often programs and we ourselves, we notice after about 2 years, people's skills tend to change. So some programs, and definitely at other institutions, they often set within 2 years or within blah blah time. So you need to just watch for that.
Mm-hmm.
A year is no problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? No, I have maybe one that people may be interested. What can I do to prepare before the course starts?
Oof.
Good question.
I would say, actually right now, one of the biggest challenges our students are facing is learning online. That's both using the technology and getting used to organizing their time and doing the work, because you're not sitting in front of your teacher every day. So if you check the Library and Learning Center, they're actually setting up preparing some online videos to help students with this preparation. And actually, maybe Domingo, you have more advice.
Yeah. So there's a question here. So generally, how long will it take to finish each level? So I'm assuming this is level Pathways. So Pathways is actually 3 months per level.
Right. And if you're studied full-time.
Correct. Yeah.
And if you're successful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good thing you said that. And that is full-time. Correct, Ken. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So, you know, the ESL Pathways, because we have full-time and we have part-time. When you say full-time, you're going to be doing all skills, listening and speaking, reading and writing. So that's considered full-time. If you're doing half-time, it's either listening, speaking, or reading and writing. I always suggest to students to do full-time just because you want to finish your, Pathways as soon as possible, right? But at the same time, again, it all depends on your, on your situation. Some students prefer half-time because they have some family or work, whatever. But some students, they want to do full-time because they want to get into a program right away, right? So a lot of our programs require completion of level 8 pathways, because again, that's equivalent to English 12 with a B. So these programs are, for example, LPN, medical lab assistant, MOA, or medical office assistant, medical lab assistant. Yeah. Unfortunately, if you want to go into pharmacy tech, we actually require IELTS. So if you say, I completed my pathways 8 and I want to go into pharmacy tech, unfortunately, you have to do IELTS. However, if you complete level 8 in pathways, you can actually use that to go into IELTS prep that will prepare you to take the IELTS tests. Because again, when you go into pharmacy tech, they require very high IELTS academic, I believe 6.5. LPN requires 7.0 overall score, IELTS academic.
Okay, great. Another question from Naro. She's got a lot of great questions. I'm trying to attend computer technology programs and it requires English 12, 65%. I believe my English level will be level 6 or 7. Can I get approval for the program while I'm attending that program, please?
When you say, I believe my English level will be level 6 or 7, I'm assuming I'm assuming you haven't taken a test, right? Because I'm just trying to, the computer technology programs, if you're ESL, you know, you can, if you have a CLBPT, for example, 7 across, I believe you're fine, you'll be good. CLBPT 7, listening 7, speaking 7, reading 7, writing 7. But if you get CLBPT all 8s, that's better.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
Ken, do you have anything to add to that?
No, just repeating again that we would need to see the assessment. It's not automatic, we can place you in a level, but certainly we do have students who are studying for maybe in computer or another program, and they might be studying English language at the same time. So that just depends on you.
A question from Kevin. I think this was for an earlier question. So you mean level 8 ESL equal English 12?
Right, so I responded, I said it, but you has to be 8 reading, writing, and 8 listening and speaking. And I'd like to say they're alternative to English 12. So they're accepted for that prerequisite. But we don't call them English 12 because English 12 is a high school class and it's a literature class. We're not high school and we don't teach any literature. We just teach the skills that those courses teach. So
yeah.
Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Question from Andrea. How much does each level cost?
Tuition is free. Sorry, Domingo, please.
Yeah, okay. Tuition is free. So, but I want to make sure, let me give you a warning on that one. If you say free, is it really, really free? Well, of course, you have to pay the admission fee. There are fees that you need to pay, like student union, miscellaneous, and all that. But again, tuition fee is free.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, there are fees like admission, student union, even UPass. Of course, you have to pay UPass.
Okay. Okay, hopefully that answered your question, Andrea. Another question from Irene. Hello, I just come here for 4 months. I got CLB6 and studying at Mosaic during quarantine time. I'd like to change to academic class to develop English skills. They offered me to contact VCC, as I know September will have a new semester for ESL at VCC. For now, the Mosaic class still has 5 months rest to achieve. So what should I do?
You can actually use your CLB6 to apply and register for ESL pathways. You can do that.
Okay.
You can apply again. You can apply. You can actually even contact Ken McMorris again and email your CLB report card. You said I got CLB6. I'm assuming I'm assuming you were placed to do you know, maybe link 6. I'm not, because I'm just assuming this because I don't see your report card. But at any rate, you can actually use it towards ESL pathways, and you can again contact Ken by email. Ken, can I give them your email address? Of course.
Yeah, sure. I did earlier, but the chat
Oh, you
goes
did?
a long list now.
Okay.
Yeah, please do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just saying, we definitely we accept results from Mosaic.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how far in your course you are. So yeah, maybe contacting me or advising individually will be able to give you more specific feedback.
Yeah.
Irene just followed up. That means I have to study 2 sessions?
I'm sorry, I don't understand what two sessions.
What do you mean 2 sessions? So I'm assuming because you're going to be doing, because if you have level 6, I'm assuming if you want to go into ESL pathways and that's what you want to do, you're going to do level 7 and then level 8. So I'm assuming that's what you're referring to, right? I'm just assuming. So that would be, in total, that would be 6 months.
Okay.
So 3 months level 7 and then another 3 months for level 8.
Okay. Hopefully that answered your question, Irene. But if you have anything more specific, then feel free to contact advising or Ken directly.
I might just make a little comment. Is Mosaic Link?
Yes.
Okay, so I was just going to be clear that Pathways does not offer anything that will help with immigration. So if you need the certificate from Link or Mosaic, you should definitely finish it there, or be prepared to do something else to satisfy that. And there's no problem if you want to study at Link and Pathways at the same time. You just have to have the time in your day.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing that you mentioned, because if you guys are using your link towards immigration, because you're going to be needing that to apply for your citizenship, and you say, you know what, but I want to go into ESL pathways. Sure, you can go into ESL pathways, but at the end of the day, ESL pathways, even the report card, will not satisfy that immigration requirement. So in other words, you will have to take another test, and the test is called CELBAN. That is what they require.
Okay. Yoon-hee asked a question and Ken replied, but I'll just read it out. In case I can't finish ESL pathway in the middle, is there a penalty?
No penalty. Life happens all the time. That people, they start and then they can't finish, and if you need to come back, one good thing is if you can't finish, to formally withdraw, so that we know that this isn't someone who's just wasting time. But yeah, no, we do our best to support students.
Okay, great. And of course, Ken mentions here, we'll be sad to see you go if that happens. Okay, from Irene, all right, I got it. I need to finish, I imagine, Link class first, and then take that report to VCC, then keep continuing ESL 7.
Correct.
Okay. Question from Lotus. Can I register in Link here today?
That's a good question. You have to contact our Link office. Lotus, if you can just see an advisor or talk to an advisor, call this number 604-871-7000 and press 2, and we will be able to help you.
Okay, great. Lotus, I hope that answered your question.
Repeat the number?
604-871-7000, press 2.
2.
Yes,
Thank you.
you're very welcome.
Question from English as a second language. How about normal EAL classes at VCC? Would they start anytime soon?
So we do have summer classes, only grammar pronunciation, not ESL pathways. They start in July and registration's open now. If you're looking for a regular program that's ESL pathways, they start in September and new students can register starting July 6th, if that's clear.
Is there any final exam for going to go to the next level? If I failed, I have to take some course again from the beginning?
Oh, I feel like there's two parts to that. We do not have final exams in ESL pathways. You have many assessments so that you know what your skills are in the English language for reading, writing, speaking, and listening. And if someone does not pass a course, they do have to take the whole course again. Or they can wait 4 months and do another assessment and maybe magically they've developed their skills. Or, you studied somewhere else and you went, well, I think my level is higher now. That's perfectly fine. But yes.
Okay, another question. I have just finished my CELB 7. Can I get an opportunity to join ESL Pathway 8 program directly?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
That's an easy one.
Okay. A question from Kevin. Could you please explain what is the difference between ESL and EAL? That's a good question.
Well, ESL stands for English as a second language, but for many people, English might be their third language, fourth language, fifth language. And second sometimes just feels like second class. And well, obviously, nobody here is second class. Our students are not. And it's not logical to call it second. So many places in British Columbia, we now say EAL, an additional language. That's the reason. We're not trying to be annoying. Maybe it feels annoying sometimes, but.
Kevin, I'll just add to that you may see on our website English as a second language, and then a small description of what EAL is. We tend to keep ESL on our website because it helps people find our programs through Google search. The term ESL is quite a common term to use to look for programs of this type. So it helps people to find the correct resources that they're looking for.
Good one, Mike.
I hope that helped.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, another one from Irene. About English for careers, may I ask which careers you support?
Maybe this is about the baking and pastry and healthcare assistant. And Domingo, would you like to talk about those?
About English for careers, we do have HCA ESL. We have few programs that with ESL components like healthcare assistant ESL, baking ESL, cooking ESL, and all that. So just so you know, the tuition fee for those programs are a bit, I would say, higher than the regular programs because of the ESL component. But what is interesting about doing these programs with ESL component is because at least now you can do your program, you can take the program at the same time developing your English skills, which is really good, because a lot of students sometimes they want to start a program right away, but their level is not that not at par. So we have programs that, you know, that's available for you. That is if you meet the required scores. I hope that answers the question. There's another question here. I remember now, it's ELA. I got 133, 200. Any healthcare course I can take wherein they could consider my ELA score? This is a good question. Just so you know, 133 out of 200 in the ELA is a good score. But here's the question: can I use my ELA to apply for the healthcare assistant? Well, unfortunately, no, you cannot, because healthcare assistant requires Canadian Language Benchmark Placement Test, CLBPT. It is a requirement by the BC Healthcare Aid Registry, not the college, but the BC Care Aid Registry. They require Canadian Language Benchmark Placement Test and not ELA, unfortunately. However, if you have that ELA score of 133 out of 200, if you take the Canadian Language Benchmark Placement Test, I'm pretty sure you'll have a good score, which will give you, for example, CLBPT in listening and speaking, maybe 8, maybe 7, reading and writing 8, maybe 7, maybe 8, you know, because again, 133 out of 200, ELA is very high.
Okay, great. Thank you, Domingo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got one more question from Irene about English for careers. May I ask which careers you, oh, sorry, that was already read. For example, my last job before I came here is a realtor. I will continue it after I finish ESL. How can I develop it?
Well, I strongly recommend that you do, you take our ESL pathways. I remember I've been asked these questions in the past about becoming a realtor in BC. You have to go to school for that. I believe they usually go to UBC, and they require, I believe they require another test, which is LP, I believe LET, which is Langara English test. Unfortunately, or LPI, I don't think Langara is giving LPI anymore, or even LET. I'm not really so sure. And unfortunately, I don't work for Langara, but I'm pretty sure they can, you know, if you want to take an assessment, you can do an IELTS academic and they will accept.
Okay, great. I hope that answered your question, Irene. We've got about 15 minutes left. Does anyone have any other questions? Oh, we got one here again from 612. I took self-paced grade 10 from Adult Education Center before. Is there any difference between ESL pathway and academic upgrade, like contents of study or overall?
Do you want to answer that, Ken?
Well, the problem is I can't talk about grade 10. Maybe Domingo, you can.
Yeah. So no, here's the thing. I just want to make sure, because when you do grade 10 from adult schools, I don't know how they do it in adult school. I think when you go into, for example, ESL classes at VCC, the way we do it is we actually teach you the language, you know, specifically focusing on 4 skills, which is speaking, listening, reading, and writing. When you go elsewhere, for example, adult schools, pretty much they say they're focusing more on the reading and writing. I've had students in the past where they even take English 12 and from the school board, right? And then when they come to VCC and do and speak to one of us, one of the academic advisors, they tend to, they get, I think the reading and writing, they're good, they have a good score when they take the assessment, but the listening and speaking, that's where the issue is, I think. So in other words, to answer that question, when you take, you know, grade 10 English from the school board, again, they focus more on the reading and writing, not on the listening and speaking. But we do have English 10 in VCC, but these are we offer through basic education. Now here's the question: I'm ESL. Can I take that course through basic ed? Unfortunately, it's hard to answer because basic ed they teach English 10 only for people whose English is their first language. But then again, you can do our CLBPT or the ELA towards ESL pathways, and you can start from there. And if your goal is to get the English 12 equivalency, then you can complete level 8 ESL pathways. And if you want to go into university further, you can go and take ESL pathways 9 towards English 1101/1001, which is university level English. Now, the reason why I said /1001 is because the 1001 there is the ESL component. Do you want to?
I want to plug the 1001, 1101 too, because our university transfer courses, I think they might be unique in British Columbia, where students can take a regular university literature course and be able to ask their teacher English language questions. Whereas if you're in university and you're in a course and you have an English language question, they'll go, I don't have time for that. So it's nice to have that support.
Yeah.
They're wonderful courses.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to plug that, but I just thought I'd also mention, if you have studied, like grade 10 English or something like that, it's a really good idea to talk to someone like an academic advisor or contact ABE, and they'll advise you individually. Because those courses, like Domingo said, those are basically literature courses and English, like writing skills or reading skills. They're not teaching English language. And those are two very different things. So we're teaching the skills, but we're also teaching English language. That's our training. That's our special expertise. So they're just quite different. So it's important to get that some individual advice. That would be my suggestion.
Okay, thanks, Ken. I hope that answered your question, 612. We're approaching 10 more minutes. Oh, we got one more question here from Arlene. How much is CLBPT at VCC? Mosaic offered 12 at $120.
Oh, so the test, if you want to take it at VCC, I believe it's going to cost you $80. Just so you know, our assessment office is closed due to COVID-19. And so keep on checking our website as to when we're going to start opening our assessment office again. You can definitely take it through us. And apparently I got this information from one of the academic advisors. I believe Mosaic on Commercial Drive will be opening soon. So keep on checking the website. When I say opening soon, like literally their office is going to open, so you can go and take the test there, but keep on checking the website, the Mosaic website. Okay?
Okay, we're just, I hope that answered your question on me. We're just approaching 10 minutes. I have a few more slides I'd like to cover. If you do have any other questions, you can contact the program directly. Ken added his contact details in the chat, or make an appointment with our advising office. You can, or through phone, 604-8, sorry, what was the phone number again?
604-871-7000, press 2.
Okay, perfect. And you can also go online at vcc.ca/advising, and you'll find all the information there. Okay, thanks, Ken. I'll just move on. I really hope that you found this session, helpful in your journey for English as an additional language. I'd like to just bring to your attention a number of services that you may find helpful. Advising services, as I mentioned, that's Domingo's area. Financial aid. We also offer Indigenous services, disability services, counseling services, and free professional tutoring. You can check out all these resources at vcc.ca/services. So I'll type that in so you can copy and paste it.
And if you're while you're doing that, Ken, just in case you're trying to figure out what you want to do when you complete your ESL pathways, and you're trying to explore programs within VCC or outside of VCC, I would like you to give us a call, because academic advisors will be able to help you. We've done this many times, and we have the experience and expertise. I remember I had one student who started with ESL, and she completed her dental hygiene at VCC, and then she went to UBC and completed another program there. So you please feel free to book an appointment and see us, and we'll be able to guide you.
Thanks, Domingo. That's great. For next steps, we do suggest that if you want to pursue more information, we encourage you to attend an upcoming info session, meet with an advisor, or if you're ready you've made your decision and you'd like to apply, then great. We're really excited that you'd be part of the community. You can apply at vcc.ca/apply. One thing here, if you do apply today, unfortunately, this is only for domestic students only. We will waive the application fee. So if you are domestic students, which I imagine not many probably are not, but if you are, then you can apply at vcc.ca/apply and enter the promo code info2020.